Hey there, thanks for joining me on Tropical Weather Impact. I'm meteorologist Peyton Malone here in New Orleans. After things being fairly busy tracking Aaron for over a week, things are starting to simmer down. There's not any major concerns for the United States where we stand right now, but we do continue to check off names this year. And what's been interesting is, well, many of these have been weak little tropical storms, except one standing out. Aaron, that was the Cat 5, and so that is long gone at this point. Next name on the list is Gabrielle, and then Umberto, Imelda, and so on. And so as we head towards September, eventually we're going to be checking more names off the list as September is our busiest month for hurricane season. But I don't see any imminent concerns or immediate threats trying to develop. Now, if you missed it over the weekend, Tropical Storm Fernand formed just to the east of Bermuda. Bermuda is right there, and so luckily it missed the island nation. It's lifting north, not going to be an issue for the United States. Invest 99, they have squashed the chances of that developing after it looking fairly healthy through the weekend, so we're feeling better about that feature. And if you look closer to home here across the U.S., you can see there's this band of showers and storms. That's an old front. That old cold front's going to be sitting over the waters. We'll talk about why there may be some action there here in the next 5 to 7 days, but there's no immediate concern there either. So let's start with the tropical storm. It's moving north-northeast, and this thing is going to become a non-tropical feature by about Wednesday. It'll transition. It gets absorbed into the upper atmosphere, and so that storm will be one that, well, no one remembers. It's long gone here in the next 48 hours. Invest 99. Now, this has been a feature we've been tracking over a week now. We were tracking it as soon as it rolled off the continent of Africa last week. It has been moving across the Atlantic, and it is just now crossing over the Caribbean islands. Here's the Lesser Antilles Islands. You can see there's absolutely no organization to this. Now, over the weekend, it actually was starting to look like a tropical depression or a storm. It has lost all those characteristics, so the Hurricane Center has completely dropped the chances of this developing to zero. And the thing about it, it's moving into the Caribbean, and there's a reason we call this the graveyard, because it is oftentimes too hostile for systems to actually do anything. Now, you still got to watch these things to make sure they don't sneak up on anybody, but right now we're thinking the wind shear and the trade winds specifically are so strong that this is going to be traveling very quickly. It won't be able to organize. It will have some scattered showers and storms with it, but as fast as it's moving, organization does not seem very likely with Invest 99 the way it stands right now, or the way it looks right now. Even our big global models, the GFS, which is notorious for spinning everything up into a tropical system, it has lost all hope that this thing does anything. And so some good news there as we go through this week. Now, if you were listening to us this weekend, we were talking about we need to keep an eye on Invest 99, because if it was going to develop, there was steering currents that could have been problematic for the U.S., but being that there's not going to be anything there anymore, we really are feeling okay about it. So what you're seeing here is the GFS in red, the European in green. It's showing where there's areas of spin in the atmosphere. You can see it's not showing really anything down here in the Caribbean with that Invest 99. It's showing that frontal boundary draped across the waters, and then that right there is Fernand. That's lifting north. These little features, there's going to be showers and storms over the water the rest of the week. And again, Invest 99, I can put it in motion. You can see that hardly anything being shown there. It shows the disturbance, just a little sniff of it right in there. Traveling west very quickly. How fast? Well, it traverses the entire Caribbean in about 48 hours. That thing is booking it. By Wednesday, I think most of that tropical wave will be moving into Central America with some extra rain, but even that's probably not going to be too substantial. And then you can see not a whole lot going on. Now, the one area we'll keep an eye on closer to the U.S. by this weekend will be this frontal boundary. You can see the showers and storms, a little bit of low pressure trying to form maybe off the East Coast by the end of this weekend. We're into Labor Day on Monday, and so that'll be the most near-term immediate thing that the United States needs to watch. We call these homegrown systems. They can spin up on these old frontal boundaries. Sometimes, if the conditions are just right, you can get a storm out of this here. Not uncommon at all, but I think that's going to be the primary feature in the tropics to watch as we go through the next 7 days. Looking at our tropical moisture, you can see the frontal boundary. You can see Invest 99, that tropical moisture. You can see Fernand there. That's lifting up. Watch the boundary along the coast and watch Invest 99 in the Caribbean. Here we are Tuesday. Here we are Wednesday. That tropical moisture moving into Central America. Maybe some heavy showers with that, but look at the Gulf here. We still just have the remnants of this old frontal boundary draped across, and we're actually getting dry air coming down all the way into the Gulf Coast, and so that brings that nice feeling air. And that really is a big story as we go through the rest of this week. It's going to be this big cold front, and this is a fairly substantial cold front for late August. Look at low temperatures this morning across the country. I mean, getting a taste of fall up to the north where you've got 50s for morning lows, even down into Nashville, 59, and we even had some upper 50s into Mississippi this morning. Now, the closer you get to the Gulf Coast, the temperatures don't really reflect that cold front. We're feeling it in terms of lower humidity, but it's something. And for late August, we will take a cold front over a hurricane any day. And so for this week, which we all know this week heading into the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, there's been many other storms. Ida's anniversary on the 29th. You have Gustav around the same time, Labor Day weekend, and you have Isaac. I mean, there's been so many storms around New Orleans we remember, and so it's nice that we're heading into these holidays or into the holiday weekend here, not tracking anything to worry about for out there in the tropics. And this is really what the United States is going to be experiencing all week long, at least the eastern side of the U.S. The hotter temperatures out in the desert Southwest. Texas gets a little relief, but I think the cooler temperatures are mainly staying north into Oklahoma. And then look at all the Midwest up into the Northeast. You've got 50s, and even New York City getting a little taste of fall here as we go into early next week. So that's what we're tracking in the tropics. Not a whole lot. I don't see any immediate threats. It's odd for it being late August, and well, things are going to quieten down a little bit. September is traditionally the busiest month. The second week of September specifically is the peak of hurricane season around September 10th. So it's just a reminder, we do unfortunately still have a lot of the season left ahead of us, but we can enjoy it being nice and quiet for the last week of August. I will see you right back here tomorrow with the latest update on tropical weather impact. Thanks for joining me today.